And off we go. Since the 7th of October 2023, we've ended our Shabbat morning service with a rendition of Israel's national anthem, Hatikva, the Hope. But what do we know of both it and its origin? Tikvatenu, our hope, a 9-stanza Hebrew poem, was written in 1878 by Naftali Herz Imber, a native of Zlakov, a town in Austro-Hungarian Galicia, while he was living in Iași in Romania. As a young man, Imber wandered Eastern Europe for several years before settling in Ottoman Palestine in 1882. There he worked as a personal secretary and Hebrew tutor to Sir Lawrence Oliphant, an eccentric British author, politician, world traveller, and Christian Zionist. Imber first introduced Tikvatenu in an 1886 collection of his poetry, Barkai, Morning Star, issued in Jerusalem and dedicated to Oliphant. Thanks to the early Zionist pioneers of the Jewish farming community of Rishon LeZion, by 1888, his poem had become a song and was renamed Hatikva, the Hope. Every song needs a melody, and that was provided courtesy of an 17 or 18-year-old Romanian Jewish immigrant named Samuel Cohen. He was resident of Rishon LeZion, who had a musical background, and sang the poem by using a melody he knew from the Romanian folk song Carul Cu Boy, Cart and Oxen, and made it into a song after witnessing the emotional response of the Jewish farmers who had heard the poem. Cohen's musical adaptation served as a catalyst and facilitated the poem's rapid spread throughout Zionist communities of Israel. Hatikva spread rapidly amongst Jewish pioneers as part of the new culture of secular Hebrew songs and folk dances, such as the Horror, that existed in the early decades of the Zionist movement. Hatikva was very quickly obtained the status of the Zionist anthem. However, not all Zionists were in favor of this. Theodor Herzl disliked the song, and in 1897 he launched the first of several international competitions, all ultimately unsuccessful, to produce a serious alternative. One of Herzl's objections to Hatikva was the bohemian figure of Imber himself. After leaving Palestine, Imber lived in London and Boston before dying of alcoholism in abject poverty in New York's Lower East Side in 1909, despite repeated efforts by the Jewish community leaders to help him. For other early Zionists, it was not the author of Hatikva, but the non-Jewish origin of its melody that proved objectionable. In fact, the melody for Hatikva is derived from La Mantovana, a 16th century Italian song composed by Giuseppe Cenci around 1600. Its earliest known appearance in print was in Del Biado's collection of madrigals. It was later known in a 17th century Italian as Bello di Montalla. This melody gained wide currency in Renaissance Europe under various titles. It also served as a basis for a number of folk songs throughout Central Europe. For example, the popular Slovenian child song Juk si Jek Ozniel, otherwise known as Little Owl Got Married. However, its best known use of the melody prior to its becoming the Zionist anthem was by the Czech composer Bedřich Smetana in his set of 6 symphonic poems celebrating Bohemia, my Vlast, my homeland. Namely, in the second poem, named after the river which flows through Prague, the Vltava, also known as the Modul. In fact, the creation of his own national music epic for the Czech nation, Smetana had drawn on the same Moldavian song as a source around the same time that Samuel Cohen did. As a solution, some Jewish commentators wrote new melodies for Imber's words. Scholars joined the fray as well, with some postulating that the Hatikva melody actually derived from the traditional Hallel liturgy of Sephardic Jews. The early 20th century scholar Abraham Zvi Indlesham, the father of Jewish musicology, took a different route, arguing that Hatikva's root melody belonged to no one folk tradition. Instead, he claimed it constituted a generic, wandering melody common across European cultures without a distinct national paternity. Recent scholarship has elaborated on this idea, isolating a centuries-old melodic pattern common to many Central European songs. Of course, Hatikva is far from unique as a national anthem in sharing its melody with other foreign sources. For instance, the tune of God Save the King served at various times as national anthems of Australia, Canada, Denmark, Sweden, Switzerland, Russia, and the United States, and several German states, along with several other countries, past and present. In later years, Hatikva continued to be the subject of debate. Religious Zionists frequently objected to the putative secular character of its lyrics, which do not mention God. As a result, Rabbi Abraham Isaac Cook composed a parallel poem, Ha-Emunah, the Faith, which speaks of the steadfast faith in the return to our holy land, where we shall serve our God. Ironically, socialist Zionists denounced the poem for its alleged religious Messianic overtones, owing to the relevance of an ancient biblical promise of Jewish return. In the 1930s, they instead proposed Chaim Nachman's Belik's Birkat Hayam, the people's blessing, also known as Techazana, for its line, strengthen the hands of our brothers, renewing the soil of our land. Cultural Zionists voiced their objection as well, often criticizing the minor key melody as gloomy and depressing, and classificating Imber's Hebrew style as heavy-handed and antiquated. We really are a perverse nation. In spite of these criticisms and challenges, and in some cases because of them, most Zionists embraced Hatikva. In 1897, the first Zionist Congress in Basel, Switzerland, the delegates joined in a rousing rendition of the song Hatikva. During the Sixth Zionist Congress in Basel in 1903, the poem was sung by those opposed to accepting the proposal for a Jewish state in Uganda, their position in favor of the Jewish homeland in Palestine expressed in the line, "An eye still gazes towards Zion." Year after year, it was sung at the annual Zionist Congress and other political events around the world. In 1933, the 18th Zionist Congress held in Prague, the song was officially adopted as the movement's anthem, along with the blue and white flag. The British Mandate government briefly banned its public performance and broadcast from 1919 in response to an increase in Arab anti-Zionist political activity. In the 1940s, many Jews in Europe defiantly sung the song as a gesture of collective hope and spiritual resistance in the face of Nazi Holocaust and Stalinist terror. A former member of the Sonderkommando reported that the song was spontaneously sung by Czech Jews at the entrance to Auschwitz-Birkenau gas chambers in 1944. While singing, they were beaten by Waffen-SS guards. Yet, after the creation of the State of Israel in 1948, the government declined to recognize Hatikva as the official national anthem, despite adopting a new flag and coat of arms as national symbols. Still, Hatikva was openly promoted as a de facto national anthem and used in all official state occasions. The traditional lyrics were also amended to reflect the new historic reality of statehood. Whereas the original last three lines of the text speak of the ancient hope to return to the land of our fathers, to the city where King David dwelt, the new version replaces the biblical allusion with the emphasis on the hope of 2 millennia to be a free people in our land, the land of Zion and Jerusalem. Almost from the moment of its creation, Hatikva has served as both an anthem throughout the Jewish world and a subject of political debate. The same pattern continues today. In recent years, the controversy has occasionally surfaced in Israeli politics over allegations that the lyrics are unsuitable for a country with such a sizable non-Jewish minority. Nevertheless, Hatikva remains an enduring symbol of Jewish nationalhood and Israeli identity. And in November 2004, over a century after its composition, Hatikva was finally officially designated the Israeli national anthem by the Israeli Knesset, bringing its journey full circle. In October 2017, after Israeli judoka Tal Flicker won gold in the Abu Dhabi Grand Slam in the United Arab Emirates, officials played the International Judo Federation anthem instead of Hatikva, which Flicker sang privately. Amongst other films, American composer John Williams adapted Hatikva in 2005 for the historic drama film Munich. Hatikva is also used in the adaptation of Leon Uris's novel Exodus and 1993 film Schindler's List. Barbra Streisand performed Hatikva in 1978 at a television musical special called The Stars Salute Israel at 30. A performance which included a conversation by telephone and video link with the former Prime Minister Golda Meir. On the 25th of May 2021, 4 days after the then ceasefire that ended the 2021 Israel-Palestine crisis, Israeli singers Omar Adam and Noah Kiril released a pop remix of Hatikva under the title Hope. It was received with mixed reviews, with some Israelis deeming it disrespectful. Adam and Kiril donated their proceeds to the song to Yachad United, a charity for Israeli soldiers. Over the years, the poem seems to have suffered a degree of erosion. The present-day version of Hatikva is now a two-stanza song, whose words speak of the historic yearning of the Jews to return to the ancient nation home of the land of Israel. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you very much, Morris, for your talk. Very interesting about the history of Hatikva. Shkar.
Thanks, Morris.
Shabbat Shalom to everybody.